Five, four, three, two. And joining me now is filmmaker Cristal Sotomayor. So, first of all, congratulations on your film, Don't Cry for Me, or You Drag Queens, being part of Queer Cuts Festival this year. Can I ask you, what is the premises or subjects of your film?
Mhm. Yeah, so Don't Cry for Me, All You Drag Queens is about the legendary Mother Cavallucci, who was a drag queen from New Hope who performed during pretty much from the 40s and 50s all the way up into the like 80s, 90s. She was, doing drag for so long. And pretty much it's about how she and her legacy have impacted the community locally through a community drag show that we put together with the drag queens Phoebe Mantrap, who's the current reigning Miss New Hope, and Miss Pumpkin, who is another legendary queen as well. And so pretty much the film weaves together archival footage of Mother and the present day footage from this event to kind of tell a story about Mother's legacy, but also memory, belonging, the community she was able to build in New Hope. So it's like a very beautiful kind of experimental meditative film.
And is this a different kind of genre for you? Because I know you generally pull from your Peruvian background.
Yeah, I mean, not fully. I work mostly in documentary film, and for me, like, it was very important to have like this archival element to the film. I've worked quite a bit with archives before, and I just thought all the photos of Mother's weddings, the ceremonies that she would put together as a yearly community event and fundraiser for herself, were so powerful that I wanted to kind of showcase them. And I've worked mostly telling like Latinx and queer stories. So while this isn't like a Latinx story, it's very queer and it's very much up my alley. And we were able to put together a drag show, which has been on my bucket list for my entire life.
Oh my god, that sounds like so much fun. Did anyone dress you up in drag? Have you ever done drag yourself?
I have never done drag myself, but honey, I did come dressed. I wore a pretty much a pink prom dress with like all these sequins, and a tiara and a boa. Like I had to go full out. Um, so it was really funny. I was like telling the cinematographer, "Oh, go here, do that," in a full dress. So it was really fun.
And how does New Hope break the stereotypes of a bigoted small town?
Well, New Hope is really, really unique. I never really thought that I'd be able to find a small town where being queer was accepted and actually admired. But New Hope is that place, like, especially learning about Mother's story, knowing that she was like a veteran during the war, that she came to New Hope and pretty much lived as a cross dresser for so many years. She would go to the Catholic Church in Lambertville, which is right across the bridge from New Hope. And she would go to a Catholic mass in full drag, like hair, makeup, dress, like everything. And people just accepted her and like really loved her and defended her in a lot of ways too.
Wow.
Because of course, there will always be um unfortunately like people like bigoted people towards queer folks, but this community really came together to like help her in those moments when those things were happening. Even when she was like struggling financially, the community would come together in these weddings that she would put together and fundraise for her and support her because they just wanted her to be okay. And she also gave back a lot to the community too through her fundraisers.
That's so cool. What a beautiful story. Did making this film change any of your personal opinions or views?
I think it made me really realize more about my ancestors, the like queer folks that came here before us. I see this as like an opportunity to give back to someone who I didn't know, who passed away when I was like like a five. I was five really when Mother Cavallucci passed away in 2000. and just learning about her and her story and the pioneer that she was, and how she was able to make space for people like me being non-binary, um, you know, was really, really inspiring. And so I see this as like an opportunity to give back to an ancestor that I love and care about so much, while being able to like collaborate with amazing people like Miss Phoebe Mantrap and Miss Pumpkin, who I think are like the current day trailblazers. Mhm.
And what were the biggest challenges you faced making this film?
Um, I would say the biggest challenges have been trying to, I would say, weave together the archival and the present day footage. I have an amazing editor, Maria Luisa Santos, who has done like such an incredible job of merging like kind of still images and a little bit of moving image archival with this like present day footage in a way that is like beautiful, lyrical, whimsical, poetic, and just come together with like such a beautiful story. I really do think that filmmaking is a collaboration, and I'm really so thankful for all the people I've been able to collaborate with to tell this story. If it wasn't for them and for their support, um, I don't think that the film would have been as beautiful as it is.
And also, how does the Great New Hope community embrace the drag queens of today?
Yeah, so I would say that New Hope loves their queens. New Hope really does love their queens. Especially since they have like right now the reigning Miss New Hope is Phoebe Mantrap. And she's been able to give back quite a bit to the community. And I really do think that not only is it that New Hope embraces the queens have actually given a lot to New Hope. Like Mother Cavalucci started this tradition of fundraising for the community and giving back to the community in a really impactful way. And so her children have actually gone on to do that. Like Miss Pumpkin has donated a lot to the community, has given back a lot, through like hosting events, through putting together fundraisers, through performing at fundraisers. And so has Phoebe Mantrap as well, now as the reigning Miss New Hope, working with the youth and really supporting other like fundraising efforts. So, as much as New Hope celebrates and embraces their queens, the queens have given so much to the community to make it what it is.
And what does it mean to you to have your film in this festival?
It's such a privilege to, be able to make the film and then to show it in the community. Um, I think like the community screening that we're going to be having is going to be really, really powerful. So many of the films made by the other fellows in this program are just so beautiful and impactful and tell really, really important stories. And I think most importantly, making films for me is about allowing people to see themselves for the beauty that they are, for like as incredible as they are. And so I think, especially with my film, like being able to see it in an audience with a community, knowing that they came together in a community celebration, and then now we'll come together in this other format through the community screening and see the film, I think is going to be really, really impactful and just an amazing opportunity.
And who's seen the film so far? What's been the reaction from the people that have seen it?
Mhm. So, like pretty much the post-production team has been mostly seeing every single cut. Traverse 32 and Outfest have also seen every cut of the film as well. Miss Phoebe Mantrap and Miss Pumpkin have both also seen like the last cut of the film. They haven't seen it with the music. I think that they might want to see the whole thing kind of put together at the end, but everybody has seen at this point the cut of the film that we're going to be using. Mhm.
And
So,
last,
yeah.
go ahead. I was
No,
going to
it's just
say,
very important for me that like the people that are in the film, especially like Phoebe and Pumpkin, have the access to view the film. I think that that is so important. Mhm.
yeah, and I was going to say, to you personally, what is the significance of New Hope to you as a filmmaker, as a non binary person?
Mhm. I mean, New Hope has just been such an inspiring place. I never really thought that there would be a small town in Pennsylvania that would embrace the queer community so much. I grew up in a different small town in Pennsylvania, in Western Pennsylvania, that did not embrace queer community at all. So to see this community now come together to support one another through the good times, through the bad times is really, really beautiful. It's inspired me in so many ways.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. And I can't wait to see Don't Cry for Me, All You Drag Queens. And congratulations again on being part of this wonderful festival.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well,